that was weird. My stream went from totally fine to losing internet to my broadcast software just unexpectedly quitting, and now we're back. So I hope things are going to normalize, because that was weird. Okay. My stream health is a little bit low, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Oh well, we'll move forward and hope for the best. So, welcome guys. So, welcome to my Friday night stream. I don't really usually do Friday nights, but this is a good opportunity for that. Since it's Friday night and I gotta get some work done. Okay, my stream health went back up. Okay, I think things are starting to look up. This is probably my second most awkward start to a stream. But anyway, since we're starting this very awkwardly, let me go send out a message on Instagram. Because why not just make this an even more awkward beginning to a video, right? Add a little sticker because, you know, people like that stuff. Let's put a ghost for no good reason. Alright. Now I can pay attention to you guys. So, okay. So let's go through the agenda real quick for today. We're going to try to finish this commission here. If you guys were with me last week, you saw me ink this piece. So as you can see, I put in the flat colors. I got the backgrounds mostly done here. So I just got to kind of finish the foreground. So once we complete that, we're going to move over to this commission, which, as you can see, I've sketched out already. I already got the approval of the commissioner or client, whatever the right word is for that. So I already got permission to move forward on this piece. So once I finish this one, we're going to ink and color this one. And my goal is, before I'm done streaming, to get both of these done. So let's get busy. As always, if you guys have any questions while I'm working, or you just want to talk to me about anything really, you are welcome to do so. Like talking to you guys. Drawing can be very isolating at times, so be able to talk to real life people while drawing is always a bonus. You know, in opposed to the imaginary people I always talk to when I'm not streaming. So if I'm using the right tool. What also helps is if I put on some music for myself. So when I'm doing the backgrounds here, it's important not only to get the lighting consistent, but to get some texture. I don't want these buildings to look like they're smooth, you know, pieces of plastic. I want them to look like they're stone. And that there's that texture that goes with it. So I usually like to do kind of the texture of a charcoal. When I do that, you see how that, it's very subtle. It gets the job done. Too bright. It's much, much better. You made it! Just started. So the goal here, I'm going to try to finish this commission first, and then we're going to move over to this one. I'm glad you made it. We'll see how the night goes. I might end this one early to start on the second one. Kind of depends on how I feel and how everyone else feels. Oh, you know this guy? Yep, Shadow Knight. My current list of commissions I have is almost exclusively original characters. Which I have an appreciation for. I like that people are commissioning me to bring their own creations to life. Instead of just kind of... Not that there's anything wrong with commissioning like your classics like Batman, Superman, whatever. I love those characters too. But it's nice to know that, you know, people out there like my art enough to trust me to draw their characters. It's very humbling. Man. Oops. Oh man, I am making all sorts of mistakes. Gotta make sure you pick the right color, you're on the right layer. All sorts of things are gonna go wrong. foreground is definitely coming to life here. With such heavy shadows here, I don't have to put too much texture up on the ground. No. I don't have to render too much. Although, I might. A little bit of texture into the line art, just so the shadows aren't so flat. Because I want the shadows to be nice and dark, but if I'm putting like a texture into the background or into the ground, if the shadow doesn't have that texture, it's going to look not right. Neighbors' dogs are barking. I don't know if you guys can hear those. You never know how good my microphone is, because I have a real cheap microphone. And by cheap, I mean it's what's built into my computer. So yeah, I know it's good enough. Like, I know you guys can hear me clearly, but I don't know how good it is for, say, like, noise from outside, or neighbors are being loud. If you can see that stuff, or hear that stuff, or if it's just me that's hearing it. All right, so this our background is just about done. I got to do these pipes here on the foreground here. And then I'm going to just do a couple touch-ups on the buildings in the background, and then we're going to move on to Shadow Knight. As I was saying earlier, when I first started, if you guys have any questions about my process or whatever, feel free to ask. Or if you just want to chat to me about just about anything, I'll talk to you guys. I like talking to you guys. this reflected light, a little bit of a bluish tint. A little bit lighter. Now this looks pretty good, but I want the pipes to have a little bit more of a rust look to them. So I'm going to kind of pick like an orangish brown here. Select the pipes. You may later this month or in September commission me to do your OC Sway. I would love to. Is it another like superhero character? What kind of character is that? She's one of your main OCs. She's a superhero indeed. All right. I do love drawing superheroes. I think if I had to rank my favorite things to draw, I'd probably pick one. I love drawing armor, like armor, just general armor, but definitely like armored characters. Doesn't matter if it's like medieval armor or like future robotic armor. Too much. I like doing monsters next, and then I love doing superheroes. I think I've done this. I don't think I like the. She has a fantasy look to her. Nice. See, I like fantasy. I love sci-fi almost equally. I know a lot of people have like a preference. Like they might like both, but they prefer fantasy or they prefer sci-fi. I kind of like both. It's hard for me to pick one over another. Look at those pipes, much better now. I like what I did, but it's too hard. I need lower the opacity. So what's Sway's superpowers? Or her abilities, I guess I should ask. Super strength, durability, flight, but she has air sickness, so she flies. That's always, I always like things like that. Able to fly, but is afraid of heights. Or has the ability to control spiders, but has arachnophobia. Oh, that's a fun thing. I'm not sure what that layer does. Hold on. Do you guys see any difference when I turn this layer on and off? I don't see any difference. I don't know what I don't know what that layer is for. Create, let's see. I want some like smoke kind of rising up, like some like steam. put that on this. I do my setup a little bit different when I'm streaming, so I always have trouble remembering where everything is. What do you guys think? A little too much? Too much fog? Put some in the foreground. What do you think? Too much? Not enough? Alright, so all we got to do is actually do all the details here on Shadow Knight. We can call this piece done. It shouldn't be too hard. We got a lot of, we're working, excuse me, we're working with a lot of black. So, there's not a whole lot of color we have to deal with. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll check out. Thanks for sending me the note. I'll check it out after the stream. So what's difficult with this piece that I'm doing here is I want to keep the lighting. Whoops. Keep the lighting really dramatic and consistent, but not have it be too dark. I want a night scene without it being dark, which is a weird sentence to say. Alright, so let's start with the easy thing. This coat and pants. Again, since it's mostly black, there's not a whole lot I have to do here. First, just gonna kind of hit where the light's gonna be. Kind of hit where any secondary lighting is going to be. I don't have to worry too much about shadows since I've inked all the shadows, so I don't really have to color in the shadows. Yeah, the light, to answer your question, Matt, the light is coming from the upper right-hand corner. Well, the light's coming from several places. The light is hitting the main character from the upper left-hand corner. But we got, since we're in the middle of a city here, we got lots of light sources. We got light coming from the buildings. We have, like the windows in the buildings. We have light coming from the street. We got lights that are on top of this rooftop. So we got a lot of light happening here. But none of the light is super strong. Like, sure, everyone's been to a big city at some time in their life. There's a ton of lights, and none of them are so strong. None of them are like spotlights. They just kind of light up local areas. So even though you see light lighting up the bottom of these buildings, that's not the light source that's lighting up Shadow Knight here. So we have a light source kind of off screen, off panel, off page, coming from the upper left-hand corner. And I guess to answer the second half of your question, the sword will have a little bit of a shine to it. So don't worry about that. One thing at a time. First the jacket, then his gloves. Basically, I'm going by color. So first, everything that's like this bluish gray. Then everything that's going to be brown, then everything that's red. Oh, you almost found your manga. Keep looking, you can find it. It'll be really satisfying when you do. Agreed. You know, it's hard. One of the reasons why I was asking you so many questions last stream, I was trying to narrow down which haystack I should look for the needle. It's like a needle in a haystack, but you have 45 haystacks you gotta look through. Oh, also, Matt, since you're in the chat, what what's your entry for your Patreon sketch? Are we still gonna do Gundam Harley again? Same as always. All right. I feel bad. Well, I only half feel bad. They got more patrons in that tier now. I feel bad because now the odds of getting your choice has gone down, but you know, I don't feel that bad because now I have more patrons. Eventually you will win. It's the luck of the roll. Even if you don't win the roll, you get that guaranteed sketch sooner or later, so it's true. It's actually after my last con in Charlotte and Heroes Con, I talked to a few people who suggested doing a Kickstarter to try to get issue 4 funded. So it'd be fantastic. But I gotta do a little research. I don't know much about Kickstarter. So it's funny with thinking about Kickstarter, knowing that the chances of me getting it funded is, who knows what the chances are, honestly. But I shouldn't count chickens, but I keep dreaming of what if, gets super funded, and I have to think of all these kind of stretch goals and how awesome it would be if I can create like a cool hollow foil cover for the next issue, because I have enough funds to pay for it. But I who knows? Works for a lot of artists. Yeah, I know it's a combination from the little research I've started. It looks like success comes from having a good social media following, which I do not have. I have a very small following. And then just kind of prepping people before it even starts, like kind of getting word out, getting people hyped and psyched for it before it even launches. And then just being part of a lot of like comic communities, so the community will help support you. And I'm really bad at that too. Not from because I'm antisocial. It's that I spend all my time drawing. I don't spend as much time as I should talking to people, socializing, even reading comics. I am so far behind in my comics reading. Even the manga I was talking about last time, like I haven't read anything in a couple weeks. You just got your rewards. See, I would hate for there to be such a huge delay. Like if, like let's say hypothetically, I got issue 4 funded. That would take, you know, a month, 2 months. I don't know how long it takes to get your money once it gets funded. Let's just say 30 days for that. So now we're up to 3 months. It would take me about 2 months to finish. If I was uninterrupted, about 2 months to finish issue 4. And then get it to the printer. So that'd be another month of graphic design, sending it to the printer, getting back proofs, making whatever adjustments, doing the print run. So that'd be at least another month there. So we're looking at what? Not counting, as soon as the Kickstarter ends, 4 months to do it. And then let's throw on 1 more month just for unforeseen circumstances. So yeah, I feel like I should, if I was able to get a Kickstarter funded, I should have it out to everyone within 5 months. Although I guess it would depend on what rewards I offer. Like, if it's just a comic, I can have that out in like 5 months. But if it's like limited edition prints and sketch covers where I have to do a lot of drawing on the covers, like that would definitely take some more time up. So who knows? But I know for me, the delay for getting artwork out to people is having to pay for real life. So whenever like there's a delay in me working on something, whether it's a comic or a commission, it's usually because I needed to pay for something. So I had to take on a job that'll pay more immediately. But if I had a Kickstarter, that would pay for everything. That would be the funds. That would be the thing that would delay me from other projects. It would be fulfilling the Kickstarter. Yeah, I do need to still... My printer has been sitting here busted for months. We might be getting close to a year now. I have not had the chance to try to fix it myself, nor the funds to pay for a repair, nor the funds to buy a new one. So it's just kind of been sitting there, waiting, hoping for it to get fixed. Or maybe it'll fix itself. I do need to get something taken care of because I have a handful of patrons, you included, that want to get prints of my stuff. And I don't have any way to get it printed right now. At least no reasonable way. Like I can always send it to like an offset printer, but there's no, when there's only half a dozen of you guys that want prints, there's no sense of me going to get like 1,000 prints made. This coat is looking pretty good. Let's do the pants, and we'll put a texture on it. Make sure we give it a save. So we're about an hour into the stream. If you guys are watching and enjoying, and you haven't yet given me a follow, why not go do that? You can knock down the stream boss here. Right now Matt's the stream boss. He has full HP. Hold on a sec. There we go. For some reason my overlays were super tiny. I'm going to shift scenes to get them back up. But yeah, so right now, Matt's at full HP at 1,000. And so by following you do damage, by donating bits you do damage, by subscribing you do damage, and by donating you do damage. And if you do enough damage, you become the new stream boss. Oh, I can't hear the music that you guys hear. What song are you hearing? I know it's probably Final Fantasy VII. Because that's the playlist I put on. Well, yeah, I know it's Final Fantasy. I wasn't sure which song had come on. If it was like the Cosmo Canyon theme, or if it was like the fight music. Oh, speaking of soundtracks, tomorrow, I'm going to do another stream tomorrow afternoon, probably starting around 2 o'clock Eastern-ish, and this one's going to be fun. I'm really excited to do this. I talked about this last week. It's going to be I'm not going to be on camera. I'm not going to have my mic on. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be working on my comics. I'm going to be working on Shadows of Oblivion here. So I'm going to be putting in the tones and word balloons for these pages. This one's actually done. Anyway, it's not the point. So I'm going to be working on my comic, and while we work on my comic, we're going to listen to the Superman radio show from the 1940s. It's going to be awesome. We're going to start with a 14-part story. Each part is like 15 minutes long, so don't worry, we're not going to stream for that long. But we're going to stream for about 3.5 hours tomorrow. And we're going to maybe close to 4. And we're going to work on comics and listen to Superman. And it's going to be awesome, and I'm very excited, and I hope you guys will be able to join me. What's my favorite Final Fantasy? Oh, that is a tough one. Okay. So... Alright, so my favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy VII. That was my first Final Fantasy game. Plus, it's really, really good. There was actually you probably see a lot of influence from Final Fantasy VII in Shadows of Oblivion, with our kind of sci-fi fantasy combination. Sword fights, but guns and monsters and all that stuff. So Final Fantasy VII is definitely my personal favorite. But if I had to say which one is the best Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VI is incredible. Like, Final Fantasy VI is probably the most innovative storytelling RPG video game I've ever played. It really messes with, not messes, but like really challenges what you think you can do with just pixel art, and what different abilities, the fighting engine, like the battle engine. Like, there's a whole opera scene where you have to control different characters. One character's in the opera, so you have to actually control the character singing the opera. If you sing the wrong words, game over. Meanwhile, you control another character that's trying to find the villain to prevent him from assassinating the opera players. And so there's this back and forth. Like, it's a brilliant game. It's probably... there's a lot of good ones, though. I would say if I had to pick which one I think is the best Final Fantasy, 6 is probably the best one. Although 4 is really good, too. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But my personal favorite is definitely 7. I love Final Fantasy 7. Eight's pretty good. I like 8 a lot. My only problem with 8 is how the battle system works. I hate the draw system for getting magic and linking magic to your summons. I always felt like I was doing it wrong, and I probably was. But other than that, I really like Final Fantasy 8. 6 and 4 are your favorites? Yeah, they're. I mean, I love 4 a lot too. What I love about 4 is that all the character jobs are built in. Not that they're not in 6, but like you don't never have to make the choice of who's going to be in your party, and yet don't have to worry about like, oh man, is this character not getting enough XP? Because everyone's always in your party, and that part I like. Oh man, Nubu Yumatsu, I think I said his first name wrong. But man, his compositions are fantastic. Favorite game soundtrack was always Eve. Is that the full name of the game? I'm not familiar with that. Alright, I'll have to check it out. Eve Online. I'll definitely check that out. Alright. I think I'm about ready to call this jacket done. So what's everyone up to tonight? Other than, obviously watching me. Unless that is your plans for tonight. Just chilling and watching me draw. In this case, color. Let's do his gloves and belt. Shoes. First, let's see. DQB2. I feel like I should know what that means, but I don't. Is that Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest Builders, okay. That was close. Dragon Quest but with Minecraft. Interesting. Is it more modern Dragon Quest graphics, or is it like old pixelated stuff, kind of like Minecraft? Although technically Minecraft is still 3D. It's just, you know, they make it look pixelated. So like modern. Alright, cool. Speaking of Dragon Ball, have you played the, it's not a new game anymore, but Fighters? Because that has hands down become my favorite fighting game. Samurai Robot Detective. Hey, Sideways, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And when you last saw this piece, when I was drawing Shadow Knight Blast, I think I was just inking him. I don't think I had started coloring last stream. these things. Well, thanks. I'm glad you like the colors for the background. It's a bit of a challenge. I looked at a ton of photographs. Because your gut tells you, oh, it's nighttime, I have to make everything dark. But when you look at pictures of the city, any city really, any big city I should say, it is not dark. It is very bright. My favorite part is the little shadows of people and objects I put in the windows. That's my personal favorite touch to this piece. Thanks, I'm glad you like them. So I was just asking, before you got here, Sideways, what everyone's plans were for tonight. You guys were just going to hang out with me? If anyone had any fun Friday night plans planned? That wasn't awkward. Have you started watching The Boys yet? Or are you going to start the series? So you get 1 thumbs up for the boys. Alright, so we got 2 votes for really good. Alright, I might have to give it a try. I think I talked about this last stream, but I was always a little hesitant about it. Just because, personally, I'm a little, I don't know if burnt out's the right word, on the superhero deconstruction sort of thing. It's a very 2006 sort of idea. And I know for people who didn't read the comic, that's it's not an old idea, it's a new idea. But still. Oh yeah, powers. See, that's what it's like. The early 2000s was the superhero deconstruction palooza. We had Powers, we had The Boys, we had Irredeemable. There's another one that's escaping me right now. But yeah, the early 2000s, everyone just really were jumping on the, hey, we like superheroes, but what if they were different? And I'm not saying any of those are bad. Don't mistake me. It's just I felt like that fad kind of ended, and now it's coming back in TV form. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Matt. Happy birthday to your nephew. Hope you guys have a good time. So how long have I been streaming? I think what I'm going to do is work on this piece for about 10 more minutes. 10, 15 more minutes. And then, so that'll put me at about an hour and a half. And then after that, I think I'm going to switch gears to this commission. Do gotta say, I appreciate those of you who do kind of spend your time with me. Like I said before, it's kind of, being an artist is a very solitary kind of job. So the fact that you guys choose to spend some of your time with me while I draw, I really appreciate it. good. I think these boots and gloves, though they have a little bit of texture, I don't think I'm going to put a ton of texture. Like, I don't want to make them look too rough. So I don't think I'm going to put like the same kind of texture I put in like his coat. In fact, I think I'm going to just kind of leave it as it is texture-wise. I'm just going to just color it up. Let's get the green color here. Why green? I don't know. I think it'll offset warm tones, the reds that we see in here. Just a little bit brighter. There we go. So I know I've been asking this a lot on the last few streams, but it's the only game I've been playing lately. Has anyone been playing Fire Emblem, the Three Houses? I say it's the only game I've been playing lately, and it's true, but I still haven't been playing much of it. I think I've only done like 2 story battles so far. So I am... Even though that's all I've played for a week, I have not played very much of it this week. I tell you, from, like I said, I've only done maybe 2 battles, 3 at the most. So my opinion maybe is a little green, but I like it. I've never really played a Fire Emblem game before. They usually I'm not huge into strategy games. But this one I'm trying out, and I really like it. I think it's really good. You know, Final Fantasy Tactics, I've never been able to get into. I've always wanted to because I'm such a big Final Fantasy fan, but I've just never been able to get into those games. Which is why I've always resisted Fire Emblem, because I know it's not too different. But on the other hand, it's very different. At least in the the tactics games I've played, there's not a huge emphasis on relationships. And again, those are just the ones I've played. Final Fantasy, that is. So maybe there's some that are very relationship heavy, but I think that's what's selling me on Fire Emblem, is the relationship factor. Talking to everyone, trying to do nice things for them so that they like you, etc., etc. War of the Chosen. That's awesome. All right. Now with XCOM, I know there's a handful of them. Is it? Are they like Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy, where you don't have to really play them in order, or am I going to be lost if I just start with War of the Chosen? Because I don't know where that is in the continuity. I don't even know if there is continuity. I know nothing about that game. Oh, I see. So where does War of the Chosen fall in to that continuity? Oops. So, I'm not gonna close that just yet. Ah, so it's an add-on to 2. I see. I say this every time I color, but I always hate the in-between stage where part of it's finished and part of it's still flat, because I think it looks awful and I think I'm doing it wrong. And you'd think by now I would just have faith in my own abilities, not second guess everything I'm doing all the time. But here we are. All right, so I'm gonna pull the audience real quick. So I've been doing this for about 90 minutes. All I have to do left is I have to finish his face, the sword, everything that's red, everything that's yellow, which as you can see is not a lot. It'd probably take me another 20 minutes to a half hour to finish this. Do you guys want me to finish this? Or would you like me to switch up gears and move on to this commission and start inking this? So I'm going to let the chat decide. So we'll make it easy. Put 1 in the chat if you want me to finish Shadow Knight. Put 2 in the chat if you want me to move on to inking Nightfall. Got 1 to stay, okay. I'll just keep working on this while I wait for more answers in the chat to come in. Or maybe none will. We have a 3. What's option 3? We got 1 and a 2. We don't have 1 vote to stay, 1 vote to change things up. Unless someone else... You didn't think that far ahead? Giving me a 3rd option without thinking of the 3rd option. Alright, so I guess I'm going to be the tiebreaker here. So let's change up gears. Let's do this. Let's change gears, and we'll ink Nightfall, and then we'll see what time it is. And if we're still relatively early in the stream, we'll switch it up. We'll come back here to finish the colors, and then we'll go back to Nightfall to start coloring her. We'll kind of do a back and forth here. All right, let's give him a save. Fish eyes. I think I missed something there, but that's alright. We'll get it. So let's switch things up. So for this character, there's a lot of black in her costume levels. So we're going to start things off by just blocking out the color, or spot blacks. Switch to lasso fill. Oh, fresh eyes. I'm an idiot. I don't know why, but I read that as fish eyes, and I was so confused. Always love putting heavy blacks in my pieces, as you can see with, Shadow Knight over here with all the black in there. I love the black here. Even if you look at my comic book pages, I still put a lot of black. I love black in my comic illustrations, superhero illustrations. So I need some movie suggestions. I have some free movie tickets that I need to use up by September. And I'm not sure what movie I should go see. So do you guys have any suggestions for me? Okay, Far From Home. Is that still in theaters? Is Endgame still in theaters? I know they were going to bring it back to try to break some records and stuff. I don't know if it's still in theaters. Hobbs and Shaw is fun. Hobbs and Shaw probably isn't a movie Lily would like, would it? Alright, so Spider-Man Far From Home. If we compare it to both Homecoming and Spider-Verse, where does it rank? Yeah, I didn't think Lily would like it. Better than Homecoming. Okay, good. Because I liked Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming for me was what I like to call a Marvel movie, in that it was really, really good, but nothing to write home about. Alright, so they did Mysterio right. Good. That's good to know. Alright, my music ran out. What should I listen to next, guys? Better than Homecoming, not as good as Verse. Okay. I had a feeling that was going to be the case, because nothing is better than Spider-Verse. It was the greatest movie ever. Let's see, what music should I listen to? Good Mysterio scenes. Alright, so the consensus is Mysterio is awesome. Oh, Sideways, I don't think you had come in yet. So I want to let you know, tomorrow I'm going to do a stream in the early afternoon, or I guess it depends on what you count early afternoon. I'm going to stream tomorrow, probably starting around 2 o'clock. And tomorrow's going to be the Superman stream I've been talking about. So I'm not going to be on camera. I'm not going to have my mic on. But I'm going to be playing the Superman radio show. I'm going to start with the story arc. I forget what it's called. I have to look it up. It's going to be a 14-part story, so it's going to take us about 3.5 hours to get through. So I'm going to work on comics while we listen to Superman tomorrow. course. Alright, let's see how this looks. This guy looks cool just like this. Alright. So let's start getting some details in here. I'm really excited for tomorrow's stream. Even though I really like talking to everyone, I think it's going to be a really unique experience to be able to listen to a Superman radio show, especially since the radio show is really good. A lot of people think of those old-timey radio programs as just old-fashioned and kind of silly and corny. But that's how that was the best entertainment of the day. TV didn't exist yet. Movies only barely existed. And so people put a lot of time and effort into making some really good entertainment for the radio. The Superman show, I was looking up, downloading episodes to be able to put it on the stream. They have almost, if not more than, 2,000 episodes of the Superman radio show. So obviously they were doing something right if the show went for 2,000 episodes. We're going to start with episode 290. I'm sorry, not 290. We're going to start with episode 1290 something. I've started downloading the early episodes, episode 300 was the earliest one I can find. And it's fine, it's good, but the Superman radio show started in 1941. So the episodes that I have are that we're gonna do tomorrow are after World War II. So it's 1945, 1946. So after 6 years of doing the program, they got really good at it. So they have better sound effects, better radio quality of both the recording and the microphones are better. So that's why we're going to start a little bit later. And if everyone likes it and we do a lot of these, then we'll go back and do the early ones. They're really easy to find. It's a good thing, one of the advantages to them being in the public domain. that they're just freely available. So you just gotta look for them, download them. You're good to go. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The early episodes are good, but let's say like the early episode, the earliest ones I could find start with episode 300. Like episode 300 starts with faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. The standard stuff. But when once we get to episode 1200, you hear faster than a speeding bullet, and then you hear a sound effect of a bullet whizzing by, more powerful than a locomotive, and you hear a locomotive sound. You're welcome for those sound effects. I'm a professional Foley artist. I'm not a professional Foley artist. So it's not like those old ones were bad. Just, I think it would be more entertaining for you guys if you heard better Foley. So that's why I chose some of the later episodes. But if everything goes according to plan tomorrow, we're going to listen to a whole story arc. It's going to be 14 episodes long. Each episode about 13 to 14 minutes, or yeah, about 13 to 15 minutes long. This has been pretty good so far. And while we listen, I'll work on comics too, so it'll be good for everyone. Can get some comics made, you guys can listen to some superheroes. One of these days, I'm gonna do a video game stream. Might just play Dragon Ball Fighters or something, or maybe I'll start an RPG from scratch. Maybe I'll play Nier Automata or Final Fantasy 15 or something. Both of those games I've started, but I have not gotten very far in, so I might just start from the beginning. Do a stream. Thank you. The rest I'm going to deal with color because she has like the they're not goggles, but like the lenses over the eyes. So I'm not going to put too much, I'm not going to ink too much more detail in here. I'm going to let color do the rest of the work. So it's 8:30. So knowing that I generally really suck at video games, what kind of video game would you guys like to watch me play? Like genre-wise, or I guess if you have a specific one, I'd like to hear it. Would you want me to do something more long format like an RPG, or something just fast, easy to pick up and put down like a fighter? Or would you guys just not want me to play video games at all? You just want to watch me draw all the time? Never anything else, just drawing! Rawr. Just draw, monkey. I'd love to do Fire Emblem, but I would need to buy some equipment to be able to stream Nintendo games. The Switch doesn't. The Switch has a share button, but that share button doesn't let you upload straight to Twitch, like you can with PlayStation. Like I could just load up a game, press share, and just start streaming with you right away. I can't do that with the Nintendo. So Spider-Man's not a good, or Spider-Man is a good idea though. I mean, I've already beaten that game like... Well, I've beaten it once, and I beat all the DLC, and I'm like a quarter of the way through my second playthrough. I know there was this update recently. I don't know if it was just to fix some bugs or if they added anything to the game. The last update. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, we almost got the inks done here. So does anyone have any fun plans this weekend in general? Or are you guys going to hang out with me all weekend? I'm going to see you tomorrow. Do I have to make my streams daily so you guys can hang out with me every day? Is that yes for I should stream every day? Afternoons with Shono. I guess I could stream. I wouldn't be able to stream for very long every day. Like today I've scheduled to stream for about 3 hours. So we got about 45 minutes left for today. Tomorrow I've scheduled about 3.5 to 4 hours. And I want to be able to do that every day. But I'm sure I can probably find an hour every day to stream if that's something you guys would be interested in. But because of my schedule, it might be random. It would be hard for me to have a super consistent schedule. So if I stream Monday, it might be Monday at 11 a.m. or it might be Monday at 10 p.m. depending on how my schedule works that week. So I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you guys, assuming you're being serious and not just teasing. Yes, that'd be awesome. Don't know how interesting it would be too, because before I stream I try to prepare a little bit, like having a sketch done or the flats done, trying to get the boring stuff out of the way first. You know, it's not, well, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think watching me draw, mess up, erase it, try again, mess up, erase it, isn't the most interesting content. So that's why I try to get everything sketched out first, or get the flat colors in, because lassoing colors and paint bucketing them in also, it doesn't seem like the most interesting thing to me. But if you guys disagree, I can do a stream where I just sketch something out real quick for an hour. Watch me draw and then erase and then draw again 100 times until I get it right. So how's this looking so far? Probably about 3/4 of the way done here. Gotta finish her chest and then probably put in some textures and some cross-hatching and stuff. We're just about done with the inking. Cool. All right, let's keep it going. I'm glad you like the heavy inks there, Sideways. Glad I'm doing something right here. What color am I gonna make her? What color am I gonna make her hair? All the reference you sent me, she had very dark hair. In the CG models, it looked like she had black hair, but in some of the 2D illustrated, it looks like she had brown hair. So what color hair should I give her? It is brown, okay. Is it more of like an auburn brown, or is it a very dark brown, nearly black? The lighting in the 3D... Oh, the lighting in the 3D made it look black. Okay. Darker brown. Okay. You got it. Bright blue eyes and dark hair like Xena. Okay. I can work with that. It's too bad her goggles are going to cover up those blue eyes. Or at least color-wise, it's going to cover up her blue eyes. Commissioner's civilian outfit, that way I can get her eyes. That's not a bad idea. Not bad at all. I have a few people that commission me to draw the same character in different outfits. Since you follow me on DA, you've probably seen that elf character, Eva. Like, I've drawn her in superhero clothing. I've drawn her in a workout outfit. I've drawn her in lingerie. I drew her in a swimsuit. So there's, and that's just the most recent one. So I get people that commission me to draw their character in all sorts of outfits pretty frequently. So she's a goth chick out of costume. Okay, interesting. Man, I can't believe I've gone this whole stream and the current stream boss still has full HP. Usually we've at least knocked it down a little bit by now. So if you guys are watching and you haven't already, follow. That's gonna deal at least 100 damage to the boss by following. If you want to do extra damage, you can always subscribe. I think that does 500 damage to the boss. She owns an occult store too? Alright. Hard to get more goth than that. I said that weird, goth. If you donate bits, you do 1 damage for every bit you donate. And then if you donate via the donate button, you do 100 points for every $1 you donate of damage. So that's that. feel like I always have to like shamelessly plug the stream boss thing. I'm sure probably most of you guys know it because I'm not the only person that does the stream boss. So you've probably seen other streams do it, but I feel like I need to explain it, or else people aren't gonna understand it. Excuse me. So if she owns an occult store, how does she have time to superhero? Doesn't she have to, you know, create business plans and go through payroll, inventory, make orders for next week's stock? Unless she's like a Bruce Wayne type where she can just hire people to do everything and then she just takes in the money and then goes superhero fighting. Or crime fighting, I guess is a better way to put that. Very tight. Alright. I'm not sure. I'm going to put some of these details here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them once I start coloring them. I might end up taking these lines out. For at least now, it's a placeholder. So what if she gets hurt while she's superheroing? That's gonna mess with her tight schedule. She has to spend time recovering. I think that's all the major inking. So I'm just going to put in some cross-hatching and some textures. And then we can call the line art done. Fair enough. And then how late does she stay out on patrol? I feel like this is a schedule that will have her burnt out in like a week. See, I've always been a fan of superheroes. I mean, like in the old days, having a secret identity was always a great source of drama. If they're going to find out their secret identity, how are they going to balance their private life, etc., etc. But I've always personally been a fan of the superheroes who it's their job to be a superhero. or I guess more accurately, they don't lead a double life. Like the X-Men, for instance. They don't. Sure, they're teachers and stuff, but they don't have secret identities. They're just. Their job is to be teachers and superheroes, and that's it. I hope she has naps in between there. No way she can only sleep 30 minutes a day. That's good. That's good world building to kind of have that schedule. To even if the world, the general public never sees the schedules that you write for her, the fact that you've thought that through is always a good thing. It's kind of like Tolkien, and he wrote Lord of the Rings. Like, Lord of the Rings takes place in the Third Age of Man, if I remember right. But Tolkien wrote what happened in the first two ages. And I think he might have written what happened after the first two ages, too. And we only really kind of saw some of that in, like, the Silmarillion. But he thought all of that through before/while he was writing. And made for a more rich world, so... Her boyfriend's a bad superhero? Is it just because he's kind of like not great at it, or is he kind of like incompetent, like kind of an idiot? Now, does he get his butt kicked just because, again, he's kind of incompetent, or is he just not strong enough to fight the villains that he encounters? I see. Okay. Uh, so you can't hit a lady, so the super villains basically get free shots, huh? All right. I think I see. All right. So what do you think? I think I'm going to call this line art all done. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. Alright, so this is my plan here. We got... Oh, looks great. Awesome. I'm glad it looks good. So we have about 20 minutes left. in today's stream. So I'm going to move back over to Shadow Knight. We're going to try to... Looks very, very good. Great. If I can get the approval of the commissioner, then I know I did it right. Alright, so I'm going to move over to Shadow Knight. I'm going to try to, in the last 20 minutes, finish the colors on him. And then we'll probably call tonight's stream done. So. Let's move back over here. Man, it's... staring at the such stark black and white, and then moving over to colors kind of made my eyes kind of go, whoa. All right. So what are you guys gonna do once I end my stream? You guys gonna find someone else to watch? Gonna switch over to watching YouTubers? You can just get off of Twitch altogether? Gonna watch The Boys? And that The Boys is free with Amazon Prime, right? Oh, so sideways. How far are you in Evangelion? You getting close to that the craziness? The mini recap. I like that the way they did that recap, just because it's a recap without just making it a clip show. Like the first half of the episode is a recap, and then the second half is actual new events happening. I think that's a pretty smart way to do it. Alright. This is looking pretty good. So I think what we're going to do when we finish this stream, we're going to do something that I've never done on Twitch. We're going to do a raid. So there's a streamer. I don't know what he's streaming today. I might have to go take a peek before we raid. But I think it'd be fun to do a raid and end the stream with a raid, simply because I've never done one before. So I think it'd be fun. A raid, basically a raid is if when we raid a channel, we're gonna I type in the person's name, and when I hit raid, all of myself and everyone that's watching right now will be sent over to watch, basically raid the other person's channel, so we can go all watch what he's doing. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I'll raid and you'll be sent over there, but you can always stop. You're not obligated to keep on watching. Alright. So this guy isn't quite done, but he's pretty close. And I've been streaming for about 3 hours, so I think I'm about ready to call it quits for today. So let's go see what Zombie Possum's streaming. Let's see here. What is he doing? Oh, it looks like he's playing Rocket League. I think that'll be fun to watch. Alright, let's go raid. Alright, guys. So, I was gonna say before we go raid them, I want to go say thank you. I want to say all of you guys for coming, visiting, watching. Hey, we got a new. I was worried we were gonna go this whole stream without a new follow, and here we are. We got a new follow. So you did damage to the boss. So welcome. Kinkako? I hope I said that right. But welcome. You got here just in time for me to end the stream. Anyway, I want to thank you, all of you guys, for coming to watch. If you haven't, you can join Kinikako and follow along. If you feel like it's worth it, you can always subscribe. Patreon's down below. All the stuff is down below. So tomorrow is going to be my Superman radio show stream. So I'm going to work on comics. We're going to listen to Superman radio. It's going to be around 2 p.m. Eastern time. You'll get a notification if you're following. If you follow me on social media, I'll give you about a 15-minute head start or heads up before I start. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the great stream. And let's go raid Zombie Possum over here. All right, and raid. All right, and raid now. Bam.